he looked in. I'll never forget this. He said, Dink. Poppy aroused. He said, yeah, what's wrong? I've killed my son.
Oh,
I
no.
have killed my son. For real. Dark, drunk, and didn't know it was his son until he'd killed him.
Oh, my
Said, I have killed my... That's why liquor is awful to me. I'd never... They were drunk.
Was his son grown at the time?
Yeah. A teenager. Oh, yeah. So Poppy got him in and said, let's go in the back room here. Well, we were awake, and listening, and Mommy was too. And he cried, and he moaned.
And I bet you remember it like it was yesterday.
Huh?
I bet you remember it like it was yesterday.
I do. See, things like that I remember.
Yeah.
And Poppy had that low, soothing tone of talking. And I don't know how long Poppy talked to him, trying to console him. But what do you say to a man that's killed his son?
Oh,
but once he killed him, he wasn't drunk no more.
Yeah.
Wow. See there? And so later, of course, he left, but I don't know that. But I just know he stuck his head in the window right where Warren and I were in bed.
Wow.
And said, Dink, I have killed my son. I have...
Do you remember the guy's name?
Were you at Farmertown at the time?
I don't know what the man's name was. Of course, I did then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's why when I think I would not ever vote for liquor.
Yeah.
Never in my life.
Yeah.
I've seen too much of what it has done.
Yeah.
I grew up with too much of what it has done.
Yeah.
And Mommy would never allow any in her house.
Yeah.
You're talking about a strict household. My mom had, she had it. None of this, none of that, none of that.
Yeah.
And the men.
She set the rules, and
She
if you
set
didn't
the
want to
rules.
follow the rules, then you didn't have to come over.
That's right.
I mean, and that's
and
something
anyway, some of the men, they'd get together one night and play cards or something, They said that we just heard. Said we go over to Doris and Ding's house and play some night, but said she won't let us. Which was the truth.
Was this when you lived in Farmertown
Yeah,
and all this
yeah,
happened?
yeah. When we lived in Farmertown. Said, well, but she won't let us. Well, they had it right. When Mommy said no, she meant no.
Yeah, she was.
Did y'all have paths in y'all's yard where people would walk through, or did people come back off the road?
Yeah. They
come into the window.
It was just.
They had like a drive, not a driveway, but
Well, on the field in front of us there was a road, and then
a lane going.
and then the road, but then you had to make a turn out here and come around to our house. Yeah. Our house was not right on the road.
Right. No, it was all
because
we
went.
Off
the road.
I took Sandy there before they destroyed it,
Yeah.
and I got some pictures and everything, and I'm just sad that that it burned down. That guy burned it down.
Well, I tell you what, Joe Cornett bought the farm.
Yeah.
Everything Joe bought, he did nothing for. It rotted.
Yeah.
I go, don't tell me Joe Cornett's bought. Later, we wish we never sold it.
Yeah.
Even the boys did that were married or that were living here in Laurel County.
Yeah.
We Dad owned it, so he sold it for about $4,500.
But he didn't. He sold it. Who did he sell it to?
He sold it to well.
It was. I know who you're talking.
Well, you know who I mean. He sold it to Martha and Martin. She was a Cornet. And what was her married name? He sold
it. It was Doc's.
Doc's. It was Doc's mother and dad.
Yeah. I can't think of.
Well, anyway,
And they sold it to
anyway, we wish. Well, right after we sold it, they found gas.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's a lot of gas wells down there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they found gas.
Yeah.
We said, well, oh, we wish now we'd have kept it.
Yeah.
But and the boys said they wish that Poppy had kept it, or they'd have bought it.
Why did he move down to 192?
Well, that's when we first came to Laurel County. Well,
But why did they leave
leave?
Clay County to go to?
Well, I'll tell you why. By that time, Willie was living at East Bernstead. Elmo was here, and Eugene was. I don't know where he was. Eugene traveled so much, I don't know where he was. But they got to begging Poppy to come to Laurel County. Said, now we like it here, and why don't you all come? And so Poppy and Mommy just decided that, well, we'll just sell. But what got them out on 192, my mother had a brother, Uncle Henry Reed, that lived right there. And we'd go out there whenever we lived in Clay County. See, my dad grew wheat, and we'd get the wheat in the fall. We'd get it in big sacks. I wonder now how we got it. I don't know what they did. We'd get in the wagon and we'd come up here to this Scoville's had a flour mill where. MILL, where you could leave your wheat and then make it into flour. Well, we left it there, and we had to stay on that, and we go out on 192 to my Uncle Henry, Henry Reed's and spend the night with them, and then come back and go home the next day. Well, when we decided they got to want us to come, naturally we would go. Poppy and Mommy would go to Uncle Henry's.
Now, did Aunt Callie live down there too?
No. Now she lived.
Uncle Henry lived real close to where Mama and Poppy moved, right? Because it seemed like I remember a house just up the road.
Yeah, there was, but it was really Bucking County lived close at East Bernstead to Oma. And Willie and them.
Oh, okay.
She lived, But,
so it was Henry that lived down there.
Yeah, my uncle, and they said there's a house up here, a stone house that the guy might sell. So Mom and Poppy, or Poppy, however it was at first, they went up there, and it was a stone house. I hope it's still there, and.
Still is.
And Poppy bought the house and the farm for $5,000.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
That was in 1942 or 3.
So Mom was still a pretty young kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Your mother was. Well, after we moved out there, her first 2 years she went to the Clay County High School.
Yeah.
She and Warren drove, and they went to Clay County High School. They kept the car down at Foggart. They couldn't bring it all the way home all the time.
Right.
But they went down there and they got in the car and drove from Burning Springs, and then Burning Springs up to Clay County High School. They did that for 2 years until Warren graduated. And of course, that was out as far as just Irene was concerned. But anyway, by that time, though, we had been out here and had bought this farm. My dad, he paid $5,000 for this, and that's about what he sold the farm over there for. And so once we were out here, that put her third year, being out in the county, she went to Hazel Green to school.
Oh, she did go to Hazel Green.
Went her junior year.
Okay.
And rode the bus. No heat in the bus.
Wow.
She was sick the whole winter. Irene was.
Wow.
She had a terrible time. Sick. Caught things on that cold school bus. Well, when that year ended, we said, Mom and them said, well, she can't go another year to Hazel Green and ride that school bus. So between her and Eva and Don, Eva said, well, just let her come up and stay with us and go to school in London. And that's what she did. Irene came up here that fall. And Eva and Don lived out on Moore Road, and Irene stayed with them and went her senior year to London City School and graduated that year from London City School.
Wow.
Then she was going to she went from there to Sue Bennett.
Yeah.
For 2 years. So Eva and Don kept her for those 2 years. They kept her, and she went to Sue Bennett for 2 years, and of course was ready to teach. You could go 2 years and teach. Then she was ready to teach school. But those 2 years at Sue Bennett, where she met Don Robbins.
Isn't that funny that Eva was married to a Don?
That's where she met him.
Yeah, he told me that.
At Sue Bennett.
It was a ladies' school, women's
No, it
school.
was a junior college, wasn't it?
Well,
Teachers college.
he was just out of the army, or
Yeah,
whatever
Navy.
he's in.
Yeah.
And he was going to Sue Bennett, and I think it was the second year. I don't know, but I know that one time after they were courting, it was just a gravel road then out one night out that way, and one afternoon here came Don riding a bicycle. He'd ridden a bicycle
On a gravel road.
on a gravel
From
road.
London.
He'd ridden that bicycle on a gravel road about 5 or 6 miles to get to see Irene.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
Yeah, he sure did.
Oh, that's
And
neat.
of course they courted they married in about 2 years after that, Irene and Don. And they got married in the Christian church.
They did.
Yeah. Mary was there, but Warren wouldn't come.
Warren wouldn't
Why
come.
wouldn't he go?
He didn't want to see his
He
little
didn't want to
sister
see his sister
get
get
married.
Of course, but Mary was right there where she said Warren wouldn't come when I said he just didn't want to see her married.
That's funny.
Warren didn't want to see her married, and he wouldn't come.
Oh, that's so
Was he married to Mary at the time, or were they just
Yeah.
dating?
Well, I think they were married. Warren and Mary were married then. Warren and Mary were married before Aunt Irene got married. And I forgot.
Yeah. She, well, yeah, they married in